Hello，各位朋友晚上好。
晚上好。
晚上好。
今天各位线上观众有福了哈，这是第一次听到我们的 Benny 爸爸会讲中文 ，OK？Today's session going to be fully Mandarin，OK？OK，
可以。
可以啊，你说的不是我说的 ，OK。Hello， 欢迎各位线上的朋友，今天大家欢迎进来我们这个一头这个咖啡档，然后大家当然别忘记我们把这个 live 分享出去，然后尽量 share 在你的 timeline，share 去你的 group， 然后我们的这个稍后呢，老师们就会开始和大家讲解了 ，OK？ 今天 Benny 没有戴帽子啊 ，Benny，you didn't wear a cap today？
Today yeah. My hair grow already.
So fast
Yeah, so fast.
OK， 来，各位朋友帮我们 share， 然后让更多人进来一起看到我们今晚这个 live。然后大家当然不要忘记，我们今天呢其实是有Benny 老师价值这个技术分析的达人来到我们这个线上和大家分享。但是今晚的 session 有一点不一样哦，我们不是专注来像每个星期一大家的 technical Monday， 就是说大家可以问一些公司的股价走势是怎样。那今天的 session 有点不一样，我们纯属是以一个Benny 老师的过去的这个技术交易方面的经验呢，以及他的这个所学到的知识大家分享啊。OK。来大家在努力 share 出去，按 like 给我们的老师，然后再分享出去给你的身边朋友，按 share button， 然后 share 去你的timeline，share 去你的 group。
Benny, we have our fans Bronto An say your hair growing so fast.
Yeah, thanks to Karin. She sent a tonic so it grew very fast. Karin is here also. Karin, hi Karin.
But Benny, I wonder your hair if like now you know later on will be same as Elvin or how this is what everyone is concerned and very wanted to know.
Okay.
No, because the whole thing about going bald is because of the charity thing, right? So that one is already over before we receive the target. so my hair still stay lah.
Okay.
I see.
For 各位线上朋友，嗨，晚上好！看到comment 大家可以跟我们打声招呼。SC，Hello SC，听秋，春春，传春，嗨传春，Karin Brunto，Bun Eng，Hello，嗨，Karin，你的这个 head tonic， 如果你想要卖的话，你可以在这边留言一下，看有谁想要买哦，都可以像Benny 老师可以帮你做你的代言人哦，拍一个封面照片做代言人。
Yeah, but I do not know why Peter one cannot grow so.
You have to ask Peter 老师傅。
Maybe he put at the wrong place 啩。
Okay. Now you have to ask him, OK？ OK， 好，今晚呢，我们的这个分享呢，主题会围绕在Benny 老师哦，Benny 老师是以技术分析闻名的哈。让我和大家分享一下今晚的题目哦，技术分析的达人，他的长胜投资秘诀在哪里呢？大家都想要知道，因为 Benny 老师呢，在过去的这个投资经验中呢，大家都有看到，在我们的这个易投的 portfolio 里面呢，他靠着技术分析都已经在过去的几个月里面的回抽已经将近翻倍了，所以已经是非常的吸引人的一个回抽。当然Benny 老师他有很多他的这个秘密和技巧，我们今天呢会尝试为大家谋福利哦，能问的尽量的问，大家也想要问的问题也可以在 comment 下面留言。OK， 首先呢大家在努力的帮忙分享出去，我们就可以正式开始了。OK， 首先呢，同样的，在每一个 session 开始之前呢，我们会有一个 disclaimer。我们今天所有的谈话内容呢，纯属交易分享哦，并没有任何的投资和买卖建议。OK， 今天呢，我们第一位主讲嘉宾呢是SK 黄一香老师或者是水干老师。 Ken 老师呢是一位 Certified Financial Planner， 拥有10年高效管理研发业务经验，也是现任本地上市公司易投控股旗下易投投资学院的常务董事。Ken 老师呢也曾经帮助超过1200名学员达到他们的这个财务目标，以及实现稳定收入和舒适的退休生活。OK， 接下来呢，我们的 BENNY 老师的中文名相信很多人都不知道哦，叫做李万游。然后 BENNY 老师呢是易投控股的首席市场策略师 Chief Market Strategist， BENNY 老师呢在股场和大宗商品的交易市场呢拥有20年的这个投资经验，也是常在 MPOC 马来西亚这个中旅游委员会以及这些投资峰会上面的一个常驻嘉宾。BENNY 老师呢的以技术闻名，他也是马来西亚 Malaysian Association of Technical Analysis MATA 的这个advisor 顾问。当然BENNY 老师也会常在 The Edge Borneo Post 上面的一个专栏作者，同时呢也是 Keep Investment Simple and Stupid 的作者哦。OK， 各位朋友来呼吁大家一下，还没有关注和追踪我们的呢，欢迎到我们的脸书或者是 YouTube 账号追踪我们的这个所有的 live 呢都会在我们的 YouTube 上面同步直播。星期一呢就是我们平常BENNY 老师呢会在 AgriStracker 英文脸书上面会有一个 Technical Monday， 然后当然大家可以去支持一下，去 like 和 follow 我们的两个专业，好不好？OK， 各位朋友，在这里想要做一个宣布哦，我们的易投呢想要送给大家2周免费的登录我们独家数据平台的一个使用期限，大家可以欢迎到这个荧幕上的网址上面 https://agristracker.com/free 上面去领取我们这个2周的数据平台哦。这数据平台呢其实是大马的独家，涵盖了超过1000家上市公司过往的金融数据以及等等的这个资讯。那我们还有一些新增的功能，我们在不断的进步我们这个平台，也加入了一些更多的功能，方便你在做功课的时候事半功倍，好不好？
对了。
OK。好，回到今天的主题哦，技术分析的达人 BENNY 老师的这个长生秘诀。在开始之前呢，作为一个主持人，其实我是有一个 privilege 可以先问一下 BENNY 老师一些问题。So actually 我们可以先请教一下 BENNY 老师，BENNY 老师，为什么你会开始在这个投资界会踏进这个投资界呢？或者是利用了 technical analysis？BENNY 老师。开个玩笑啊 I say into English. So BENNY will speak in English. So actually my question is, hi BENNY, how do you start your career in this investment field and particular using technical analysis?
Okay. I think for those who got my book that I co-wrote with my partner at the time, Keep Investment Stupid, actually got my whole story there. But I actually was interested in the stock market, in basically financial market since college time. So that was quite a long time ago in 1999, I think. And because everybody was talking about the stock market at the time. So, and there were people who bought shares, they make money. And I was trying to figure out how this guy make money. So easy, just buy shares where they can make money. So from there, I go and start to learn. And then I want to find ways to make money fast So I go and learn about futures trading. That was in college. And then I go and, like any student, anybody who started, I also attended a technical analysis workshop actually. And that's how I get started, right? Learning about technical analysis. So from there, I just keep on learning technical analysis at the time. And that time there were not many not many courses, not many workshops on trading and so on. So there's only like 1 or 2 people. So just attend and learn, and then start trading a little bit before I started really trading after college So that's how I get started in technical analysis. So it's more on a influence from friends.
So you become a full-time trader after you graduated?
Wanted to. Because I just went to college and I just got the diploma and supposed to go for university, right? So I decided that I thought that after making some money, maybe this could be a way to make money right? So after college, I decided to take my university money you're supposed to pay for university and start trading. And that was in 1997. Oh, sorry, that means 1996. Wow, I feel very old already. So 1997 is when I actually started, after college, with the money and basically with no experience, although we have some knowledge in technical analysis, but no experience at all. And 1997 was really a tough market. And it's not like right now, right? Everything you can do online. Last time you have to call your remiser, and in a very hot market like that, getting a line or getting a call to your remiser also very difficult. So the challenge at the time was trying to get out because the market was coming down like crazy. And if you cannot get a phone call with your remiser, that's it . So I basically lose everything in 6 months. Right. Then you know what, I have to stop trading and start working. I have to pay back the money, right? Because the money that I actually got was from relatives, family, for my university. So then I started to work in a company that actually sells me the software. It was called Keycodes at the time, and they were selling end of day data and Metastock software. So I think that since the money the market take the money away from me, I need to take my money back from the market, right? So I need to find ways. And after learning also, I figured out that the best way to actually learn about trading is to learn from real traders themselves, right? So the only way to get access, and that time, traders don't really go out do seminars, do workshops and all that. They make money themselves. They just keep it for themselves, right? So the best way to actually learn is going and learn from them. So that's why I decided to join the software company, because that's how I can actually get access to them. And so I've basically learned, and of course sell software also. And for that 2 years, I'm able to get some money. And in year 2000, I started trading again. This time smarter a little bit.
Smart。OK， 我可以简短的一个重复一下 Benny 老师所谈的哦。OK，Benny 老师呢，就是在他的这个college 的生涯呢，就开始利用这个 technical analysis 来投资了，因为看到身边的朋友呢都是在赚钱哦。为什么赚钱这么容易？但是呢，他却是在他踏入股场的时候呢，1997年就遭遇了这个亚洲金融风暴。当然呢，在这时候呢，他也将他本身的想要进修大学的这个资金哦，全部在股市再利用6个月时间就亏完了。然后他在毕业过后呢，就是进入了这个一家 software 公司然后才可以接触到真正的 trader 来学习怎样利用交易来赚钱。好。
Yeah, Benny, I noticed that one very important lesson over here. Like back in 20 year in 1995 or 6, you already aware the learning and the education is so important to you. I mean, to pick up this skill.
Yeah, I think that's important, because I'm although you get, when in college, the time people talk about stocks, it's all just recommendation from friends and so on. But because I always like facts, right, and figures. So that's why I decided to go and learn about technical analysis now.
Okay, Benny Sifu, so actually what any changes actually in your investing style? You start from technical analysis and then you learn from traders. So what are the differences between your trading skills and trading method?
Yeah, for a start, when I started, because you don't have so much money, right? And I figured that you lose all the money also, never mind, right? I can still go back to my mother's place, my father's place, and still stay. I still have a roof. I still have food to eat. So as the good thing about when you start young is you dare to take more risk, right? And then you can say that, yeah, lose everything also, never mind. And you don't have anybody to answer to, right? So that's one of the good things if you start young. But when I started trading, because I want to make as much money as fast as possible, I think that's what everybody wants as well, right? So I actually traded in the futures market first. And in the futures market, you actually get leverage, so you can make more money. Okay. And I used to do a lot of trading. That was in year 2000, after year 2000, right? I do like 20, 30 trades a day. We call it scalping. Right? Make a few points, you run, you make a few points, you run. I did that for quite a number of years. And then I thought to myself, well, this is not something that I want to do long term. It's tiring, right? Because you have to, market open, you have to look at a screen from 9 o'clock until like maybe 3 or 4 p.m. And maybe when you're young, you are still able to do it. But you get tired after some time, right? And then what happened is I still want to do in trading, but I try to find a trading plan that is more relaxed, right? Because now imagine when you started with $10,000, if you make 10% a year, you only get 1,000 a year. So that's why I decided to, and I need to double up my money every year, from 10,000 to 20,000, or even more, right? So that's why I started trading more often. And you can achieve that if you do futures trading. So that 10,000 ringgit for me was either you make it or break it. But you know what? I actually lost that 10,000, I think about 4 times. So that means I lost another 40K before I really got it. So trading is yes, you can make that money. You can actually make a lot of money if you know what you're doing. But after some time it gets tiring, right? So if you have $10,000, you want to make, let's say, $10,000 a year or $20,000 a year. So your objective was 100% or 200% a year. But you need to do a lot of work, okay, and which is very tiring. So, but after we build certain amount of capital, like for example, if you have made 100,000, you have a capital of 100,000, then I'll be thinking to myself, I think I make 50,000 a year also good enough already. So I lower down the objective, right, from 100% a year to 50% a year. And then it gets easier, right? You don't need to like monitor the market every time and look for opportunities every single day, right? And as time goes by, as your capital grow, I'll be thinking to myself, I think even 10% a year is good enough. Then I started to, devise another trading plan that allows me to only maybe spend like 30 minutes or 1 hour a day. Don't need to trade intraday, just buy and hold for a few days or few weeks. Then you don't need to monitor every day. Then it becomes much easier, right? So my transition is basically when the money grows, your strategy grows as well, right? Because if I were to risk whatever like what I did earlier, I will not dare to risk that anymore, right? Because to lose 10,000 is okay, but to lose $1 million like that, I don't think so. You want to do it, right? So it becomes more steady, less work, but your expectation is lower, then your risk is also lower, and then your work also lesser.
好，就我是说想刚刚我是问 Benny 老师，Benny 老师，你在这些年投资的生涯里面，你的这个交易的策略有到底什么样的一个改变？Benny 老师呢就跟分享，一开始年轻的时候是血气方刚勇起塞浪，那么已经这个10千块呢，已经输了4轮就输了40千。那么他以前的这个交易的频率也是非常高，而随着他的这个资金和他的经验的增长呢，他的这个交易的次数，可能一年需要达到的这个回酬的目标，可能是从180慢慢降低到18%，慢慢越低。他随着他资金越大，那么目前呢，他也是属于比较一种稳妥的一个交易投资型的一个交易员。
Yeah, Benny, I saw your earlier transaction in terms of number of transactions, 20 or 30 trades a day is equivalent to my trade a year in one of my portfolio. So imagine that's quite tiring if you are really need a normal working life from 9 to 5. That's really tiring.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, I mean, you want money to work for you, right? But because I was not from a rich family, I don't inherit so much money. I need to build the money myself. So that's why trading is good for creating the wealth, but it cannot be sustained in the long term, right? So and that's one of the reasons why I've actually hooked up with Alvin with Equities Tracker. Because for me, I believe they are very sincere. They are real. That time, Alvin and Andrew are the two brothers, right? I met Alvin. I think Andrew was in Australia. And we started talking, and then and I was thinking to myself, hey, maybe investing also a way to go, right? So because like you said, right, you do only 20 trades a year, maybe lesser. That's something that can be achieved easily. I also want a part of it, So that was like, I think. if I'm not mistaken, about 5-6 years ago. I do want to keep long-term investment, but my investment was not doing very well until I met Alvin and Equity Tracker. So they actually have an objective on how to achieve this, right? So that's when I started to build an investment portfolio which is long-term. So I always mention that if you wanna trade and invest, don't mix the portfolio together, right? I have a trading portfolio, and then we have one more for investment in the long term. But eventually, if everything can turn into long-term investment with with enough returns, then easy lah. No need to trade anymore, right? Just do like Swikiang like that, relax, sit down there. No need to look at the market every day. Yeah. So if that can be achieved, then definitely that will be the way to go lah. So I think we need to have an end game. I know that everybody want to become a trader, very and make money as much as possible, fast as possible. But you can't do this, in the long term. And if you go and read most of the successful traders, they already make money like after 5 years of trading, 10 years of trading, they completely stop, right? They say, I get enough money already, I don't want to do anymore. So they have an exit game. But I believe a lot of traders, they don't have an exit game. They don't have an exit plan, don't know when to get out. And especially if you start losing money, they cannot get out anymore, So that's how I got started. That's how I get started and working with Alvin and Equity Tracker, because I believe that they do really have very good contents, because Equity Tracker has always been content, right? And the system and the platform, and that's where I think that's where I talked with Alvin, and then that's how we started to work together.
好，其实我在这里想要做一个调查哦，其实线上观众相信应该都听得懂吧，所以应该是不需要我翻译。如果需要我翻译的话呢，你可以在 comment 下面留言一个1号给我知道需要翻译，好不好？那为了节省时间让大家提问大家更多的问题呢，其实我就不需要每一句话都翻译啦。So actually 想要请教 Benny 老师。有什么会让你在晚上睡不着？Benny 师傅 ，What will keep you awake at night?
What keeps you awake at night? I think all those WhatsApp messages and pictures that one keep me awake at night. But yeah, I mean, at first, of course, I was married like nearly. How many years ago? My wife is hearing this and habis, 16 years ago, right? And of course, you worry about family, you worry whether your kids and all that, whether they'll be okay, and whether the finances are okay. So you used to get worried about that, but now you get more relaxed. I mean, maybe it's age also, right? Because we are able to, stay awake past midnight, 3 or 4 o'clock, go party and come back also still okay, right? But right now, I don't know. For the past like maybe 6-7 years, I sleep like a rock, so I don't really get anything that keep me awake at night, because I'll just go on a bed and just drop dead like a stone. Yeah, but of course, right now, because I'm also involved in the Equity Tracker business, and of course, to maintain the Equity Tracker business, we really need to improvise. We really need to make sure that the company keeps going. We make sure that our colleagues are all still happy and have their jobs, even during this MCO. And I think during this MCO where we think a lot, because in this copy time session, we really find ways to go and get attract more people to come in, and to continue the business and so on and so forth. So yeah, I also mentioned this before. I think we had one question with Peter and the rest. How do we? What keeps you awake at night? And for me, it's the copy time that keeps me awake at night right now.
Yeah, true. Especially when we are scratching our head, all our heads, to figure out what is the title for the next day, next session. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we are very glad to have.
That's one thing I learned as well, right? Because investing or trading, I think, is much easier than running a business.
But from the explanation, the sharing just now, Benny, I noticed that you begin with the end in mind. I think each trader or each investor should have one strategies which suit themselves. So the ultimate goal is to find the way that suits you much, even to a trader as well.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that it also very depends. I mean, whether the person makes investing and let's even trading. Let's say investing. I don't want to say trading, right? Whether you want to invest in the stock market or any other markets, whether we have that priority, right? Whether we think investing is something which is important, right? Because there are a lot of people that I've also know, even my friends, right? Because some of them, they'll think that I are investing, maybe I will get money first, I work hard and save money and then start investing. But you know what? These guys until today also they have not started investing, right? Because it is not their priority, right? And only when probably they are like, I need to build a passive income, then only they probably start, right? So I think it's important if we can identify that this is the way to actually preserve and grow your wealth, and hopefully for your retirement you can still get a passive income, and you don't need to work so hard. Then you will start to make it a priority. That means you can start anytime investing. But the problem with a lot of people is they don't start, and it's very difficult to start something, right? Like if you want to go and lose weight, and you say, okay, I'm going to go to gym tomorrow, right? But we never go to gym. Say, okay, tomorrow I'll go, but come tomorrow, they say, never mind. Why? Because losing weight is not a priority, right? So for me, because I've already been brainwashed, I think one of the things about the good thing about losing money in the market is I need to find ways to make back my money from the market. So that's my passion. I want to make back money, right? Kiasu lah. So you go deeper, you go deeper, and you just want to improve yourself continually so that you are able to get back the money from the market and even more.
Actually, Benny, may I ask what is your investment goal?
My investment goal, okay.
Yep.
I haven't really thought about it because as long as that I'm talking about passive income, which I don't even need to look at the markets every day. I don't even need to do 20 trades a day, maybe a year, maybe just 1 or 2 trades a year, right? If I can achieve that, that means okay lah. That means I'm happy already, right? But then again, that's the thing, because we need to build that capital in order to get that kind of income, where I just have to depend on passive income, right? So that's where I do not know when I'm going to start, because earlier my initial objective was smaller, but when you reach there already, you always set it higher, right? So I don't know, until I'm comfortable, then I'll probably stop lah. But now I don't think so. Maybe the objective is maybe not like trying to get more money from the markets. The objective is, I always treat investing and trading like a game, like a sport, right? And that's what I was being taught also as well when I started trading, because one of my earlier mentors told me, you know what, most of the time you fail is because you always focus on the money, right? Then he told me you should focus on the game, on winning the game first. Now, why he said that was because now he always, of course, give some good examples. One, like I play badminton, right? I do twice a week, but because of the CMCO, I can't play now. I'm getting very, very lazy. But so he gave an example of badminton. Like for example, if you play badminton, and everybody knows when you play badminton with other group or other people, there's always side betting one, right? Okay, so if you play badminton or any sports, as a matter of fact, and if you don't focus on the betting, then you are able to actually play properly. You follow the technique, you follow the strategy, and so on, right? But imagine once you start to put money in there, then your focus is not the strategy, not your technique anymore. Your focus is on the money, right? So I said, oh yeah, it makes sense lah, So he told me that, focus on the game, on winning the game, find a strategy, find a plan to win the game first, and then the money will follow. So that was what I learned, right? So that's the difference now. So I think one of the things that we want to do is, even for me right now, maybe we go even like Warren Buffett, he could have stopped investing maybe 20, 30 years ago, right? But why is he still doing it? It's just the love of the game lah, I think, for me. So so if you ask me, my earlier I would think of maybe just retire early after 5 years, 10 years, just stop trading. But it becomes like a game, right? I'm just gonna do it, whether win money or lose money. I'm just gonna do it. But it would be fun if you make money, lah. Right? The fun is basically winning the game, lah.
Yeah, Benny, I saw you really enjoying in what you are doing right now, like trading and investing. Is it like a sport or hobby? I think you are using your skill, enjoying every day and apply in the market. Yeah.
Yeah, life is short, right? So better enjoy also, lah.
I wonder I can learn from you about this to pick up all these skill, hobby, and sports skill as well.
Yeah, I mean, because your children are still young, once they grow, you'll find time one, lah, no problem.
So, Benny, there's a question from Corinne. Basically, she is asking, is there a rules for how long a stock you will trade? Basically, you will trade for 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days?
It depends on averagely if trading, I'm talking about trading, not investing. Trading, normally the stock that I hold will not be more than 30 days, averagely. All right. But there are sometimes a stock that can hold, like, I think the longest I hold for trading was about 3 months, 100 days, about 3 months, plus. That was because the stock wasn't moving. I just waiting for it to move. And that time also there was not much alternative where you can sell that share and buy another share, right? So that was the longest, but averagely normally about a month. Yeah.
I see. Okay, there's another question from Yuan Tong. Your friends got asked you for trading tips or not? How you apply them?
Every time they ask for trading tips, right? I'll give them the same answer. Number one, okay, I have a principle. I don't share trading tips with my family, and I don't share with my friends, right? Because if you want to maintain that relationship with your friends and family, make sure you don't screw things up, right? They'll be happy if they make money through the tips or whatever. But when they start losing money, then they'll just blame on you. The problem is people always remember the mistakes than the good things that you do, right? And so that's one reason why I don't give trading tips, because I told them, you have to be like me also. Like, if you really want to learn about trading, investing, learn how to do it yourself. I think that's the best way, because you're not going to depend tips from me forever, right? So I know people will be asking, and if you get them a tips and you don't know how they manage the money, some of them will just silent because of the tips, right? And I don't want to get into trouble, and if it's gonna affect your friendship or relationship with your friends and family, then I'll just keep my mouth shut. So I think most of my friends really know, and my family know my principle. They won't ask me anymore.
I see. So basically, being a professional trader, how do you improve your winnings rate from each trade? Is there any secret that you can share with our audience here?
I think the one earlier when I started trading also, I thought that making money, making money in trading, you always need to have high winning probability, right? That means you have to win like 80% winning probability, 90% winning probability. And that's one of the reasons why we keep on learning, keep on improving. But after some time, I found out that improving the winning probability is not important anymore. But having a high reward to risk ratio is much more important, right? That means when you win big, and you lose small. And again, this is all the things that I don't really learn from myself. I actually learn from all these guys as well, right? Because there are a lot of people who even make, averagely, he have a 50% winning probability. He win 5 times and lose 5 times. He can still make a lot of money, right? So probability, I think, is not the issue here anymore. I think you can try and find as hard as possible. If anyone can tell you that they have 80% winning probability over the long run, I think it's bullshitting, right? Because I've met a lot of traders, or when I start to do my research in the company, right? Most of them don't even go 60 plus percent. If they told me that even if you get 60-70%, it's already very good, right? And the probability of winning also depending on time the time frame. Yeah? For example, if you use this in, let's say, 1997, 1998, or maybe earlier, the nearest one is 2008, right, during the Asian financial, during the subprime mortgage crisis. If you, no matter what you do, also you won't get very good winning probability. Your probability is going to go down, right? Maybe 30%. But how we survive is basically having the very good average wins to average losses ratio. That means you win more than you lose. So imagine, right, if every time I win $2, and every time I lose $1 only, right? So even with 50% winning probability, I win 5 times, I lose 5 times, I can still make $5. I can still make profit, right? Even if I lose 7 times, okay, and win 3 times, I probably just break even. Okay, so that's the objective is that. So when I started to develop trading plan, I always try to improve the average wins to the average losses. I don't try to improve the winning probability anymore, right? Because no point one, no matter how hard you do, it's very difficult to increase the winning probability. The best is to increase your average wins to average losses. I think that should be everybody's objective.
I see. We also noticed that for our members there, you can log into our our software, Equity Tracker software. You can notice that there's a new column. There's a apps called Chartis, right? So basically, it's all this effort basically from our teams and also Benny's to try to enhance all our investor and traders your average winning and your reward to risk ratio. So Benny, can you share with us how do you like use our software, or basically describe how do you improve your average win and versus average loss?
Yeah, so you can I mean, for those who already have access to Genius, you can actually go to the portfolio that we have created, right? So I have one portfolio there for trading one, and you can see that the returns are like 90%. I'm not sure what happened today, but I think about 90% over the period of 4 months. But if you go and look at the log, like the trades that we do, you see that the winning probability is not high. Right, you see that probably, I think if you look at all the trades, you only have like maybe 50% or maybe 50, just slightly above 50% winning probability, right? So that means you like win 5 times and you lose 5 times. Okay, but the wins are always bigger, right? So if you look at that's real, right? Because we're not here to go and bullshit people that you know out of 10 trades that you do, you always win 8 times, you always win 9 times. I don't think so. That is real, right? Because I've not really seen one yet. So building that, of course, I think there's a question like Harry Quay, what's a winning recipe, right? How to win big and so on. Okay, this one, a few things that you have to incorporate, right? For example, technical analysis is one thing. You want to identify opportunities. The problem with market is, when you get an opportunity, right? For example, if the market was up like yesterday, you'll see that hundreds of counters go up. Okay, and when the market goes down, you see hundreds of counters go down. So if there are 100 counters that goes up, the question is which one to choose, isn't it? Right? So I actually have a criteria on choosing those stocks. Okay, based on a few criteria, and to improve the winning probability, right? For example, the hot play right now is glove sector, right? Glove sector. But what goes up fast goes down fast also lah. So you have to be very careful. But if you're able to do it, you can make good money because that's where the momentum is. So there are actually a few criteria, before we choose which one to actually trade. But of course, sometimes you choose the wrong one. Also, you see some stocks start to move and then your stock don't move, right? It happens also lah. Okay, but that, so if we continuously try to do more research and try to find out how you can improve things, then eventually you'll be able to find it, right? And of course, if you guys want to learn more, I'm actually having a class this weekend, right? A 2 days class. It's called the Trader Circle program, where the objective is to have 3x3. We call it the 3x3 Trader Circle program, which means that my objective is to triple your capital in 3 years, right? 3 times your capital in 3 years. That, of course, if you have a trading plan and if you know how to do it, you can achieve it, right? So I'm gonna mention so much here because that will not be beneficial for those who are attending this workshop or this weekend. So if you really want to know the whole complete trading strategy, then you know what, just join me this weekend. It's 2 days and it's online, right? but because we're supposed to do this on a physical class. I'm also supposed to go to Penang actually this weekend, right? And do a workshop.
We're
But because
supposed to have a char kway teow this weekend.
yeah, I miss so much. I miss so much, especially Bukit Mertajam char kway teow. Yeah. So because of the CMCO, we decided now we have to go and postpone the class, and we figured out that I think we should not wait. Okay, and that's the reason why we decided to actually do an online class, right? So the online class is basically like almost like attending the workshop live in person. It's just that we're gonna record it online. But you know what? If you attend this online, and in the future, once we have the physical class again, those who attend the online one will be able to come for the physical class, right? For free, don't need to pay anything, right? So the reason why we do the online class is because we want to impart that knowledge as fast as possible, right? So okay, so if you're interested, I think maybe our colleagues are online to go and look at the comments and all that. They will be putting a link for you to go and register, right? If you are interested to register, or if you're too lazy to click the link and you got no time to go to another link, just put in TCP on the comment section. Okay, that's where I'm going to teach. Not just technical analysis, because technical analysis is just a tool, but most importantly is how you build a trading plan using the indicators.
Yeah, Benny, talking about this prior to your sharing just now, what Brontok already answered to Harry Quay. I saw that. Benny, what's your goal? Your generous recipe of winning big? Brontok say go to TCP. So really, I'm looking forward to your TCP this weekend. Besides char kway teow. So
Yeah.
Let's learn together from
Okay,
our
we
seafood.
tahan first lah.
Pronto, I will send you the char kway teow through virtual during the class. Don't forget the code from Pronto.
Bronto is in Penang, is it, or what? Are you in Penang, Bronto?
Yes, it's from Penang. Yeah.
Okay, don't
Penang,
show me. If you go online, don't show me the char kway teow, because I will just skip the class and I'll fly to Penang immediately.
Okay, I saw an earlier question from Jennifer. Jennifer is asking, Benny, how do you decide your entry price?
Come to TCP lah, then I'll teach you how to decide the entry price. For me, because I started with trading, right? So I depend on technical analysis a lot. One of the things that when we start to learn about technical analysis, especially if you have not used it before, is to actually trust the market. Because when we learn about technical analysis, it's basically about understanding the market, right? So we'll be asking ourselves, when we get a buy setup or a signal to buy based on technical analysis, there's always this doubt, will it work? Right? Can it work? I mean, this is just charts, right? I don't look at data, I don't look at news, I don't look at information. Can I just depend on charts? Right? But that's where the struggle is at first. But once you get used to it, then it becomes almost a routine, like a robot, like just follow the trading plan, right? But that being said, in order to really improve that winning average more than your losses, to win big, the question that you asked later, you should be looking at other aspects as well, right? And I believe, like Swee, even your class, like VIDS, you look at which are the sectors that are hot right now, right? And that's where you should go and bang. So there are a few more other filters and other criteria that you can actually have, right, to improve the odds. The trading plan is still the same, right? But my objective is always to increase that winning. How can I keep on increasing that wins, that average wins? Right? If I can do that, then my returns will get much bigger.
I see. For our audience, feel free to ask any question in the comment section. Our Benny Sifu will answer you later on. Okay, Benny, can you give some advice or words to novice investor?
To non-investor?
To all the investor.
To all investors,
Yeah. To all the new novice investor.
Yeah. I think one of the things that I have to be blunt over here, right? Because I think trading and investing, apart from getting the knowledge, apart from getting the skills and so on, the most important thing that you need to have is actually your guts. That means your your passion, right? Whether you can do it or not. Because you can learn all you want, but if you don't have the guts to actually risk something, then you will not achieve anything, right? So failure is just part of it, right? You have to go through failures. You have to go through losses in the market. But the good thing about, if you already have the knowledge and you already have the skills and you learn about investing, you learn about trading, at least when we lose money, we know why we lose, right? And we learn from it. Because there are a lot of people who just trade and without any plans or strategy. When they lose money, they do not know why they lose money. They win money also, they do not know why they win money, right? So I think it's important that we go through all this, right? Even if you lose money, as long as you're managing your money well, you will not lose everything, right? So that's why money management is very important as well. But make sure we learn from it, okay? Then at least it's worth paying the tuition fee, right? So that's one. Second thing is, like I mentioned earlier, treat it like a game, right? Don't focus on the money first. Don't focus on the money first. Start small first if you can, because these are still things which are new, right? For someone who just learned. So start small. It doesn't matter if you think that so little money, how to make money, but it will go a long way, right? Once you make small money, then later you make more and more. But the thing is that we have to get very familiar with the strategy that we have, very confident with the plan that we have, and then only you start to increase, right? Because one of the things that we always notice, I'm not sure if it's weekend, maybe you also notice that a lot of people do the other way around, right? They start big first, and then when they lose money, they trade more, right? Because they always want to make the money back fast, right? Because people always want to make money as fast as possible. There's a lot of people just silang, right? But most of them end up losing more money, right? But in trading, you actually have to start small first, and once you start making some money, then you add position. Not when you lose money, but a lot of people add more position when they're losing money, hoping to recover back, right? But once we start to make money, and if the trading plan works, then only you start adding the money, because it works, right? You're really starting to make money, it works, then only you add more money. So something that doesn't work, you don't add, like a game also, right? If you play and your strategy don't work, what you do? You still follow the strategy. You change the strategy, right? So one of the mindset you think is treat investing like any sports or anything that you're passionate with, whether, or even let's say learning music or learning swimming or whatever, right? Put that as a priority first, and then, like my earlier mentor said, the money will eventually follow. Yeah.
Okay. Benny, there's an earlier question from Peng Fong Chin. He is asking, can you share your biggest gain or biggest loss in a day trade?
My biggest loss was in 1997, because I was trading the futures market. I can also share you one of the biggest mistakes I made. Okay, first of all, biggest loss. So in terms of portfolio size, I lost one single trade. I lost half of the capital. Half, right? Because I was trading the futures market and it was so aggressive. It was, 1997 is like very difficult to trade. You want to sell, also cannot sell. The price keep on getting lower. So I actually lost half of the capital, right? And then I start to trade smaller and smaller and smaller. But you know what? Eventually, I lose everything also. So if you ask me, I've actually lost everything in one go, but not one single trade. There's the biggest one single trade I did was losing 50% of what I have. Just one trade. But that was in the futures market. Okay. The biggest win I would say is actually from a CPO market. Palm oil, again, that's a beauty about learning technical analysis, because you don't only can trade the stock market, but you can also trade the futures market, right? Because I remembered, I think it was in year 2010, right? And there was a very nice setup on the chart. Everything was aligned. It's like the stars and the planet all aligned, fundamentally and also technically, right? And I remember the price that time was 2,700 ringgit. And based on the chart, I think it can go to about 3,006. And you know what? The price actually went. So it went up 1,000 ringgit per metric ton. Okay, so I was trading, I think that time I have 20 lots or 20 contracts of a position. So that one single trade I made about, I think, 200 over 1,000. That was the biggest single trade. And that single trade actually has, my capital has gone up from that one single trade. I made about like 30% of that portfolio, the capital that I have that time. So that was the biggest one that I made. Okay. So that one win can actually overcome maybe 30 or 40 losses. Okay. So sometimes you just need to have that break, right? Once you get in and just ride on the trend and yeah, that's it. But the thing is that one of the things that I don't do is try to predict when the market is going to move, because for me, I mean, to forecast when it's going to move is very difficult, right? Some people do it, but some don't. But so if I don't try to predict the market, I have to get ready every day, because I do not know when the opportunity is going to come, right? But I have to take action. I don't know, maybe tomorrow the market is going to start to rally, so I make sure that I'm in position. I get ready, right? If it doesn't go, it doesn't go. I just cut my losses and just wait for the next one. But until I get one, like the one I did on the futures market, and I've done quite a number of these. And in fact, you follow the portfolio, it was, we had a good break, right, from the rally that we see during the MCO, right? But this doesn't happen all the time, right? Okay. So you need this break, right? That, once you have this, and then you see that, wow, just this one trade is worth everything that we have gone through, okay. But if you don't take this trade, right, imagine if I don't make the money, then it's not worth it, right? Because I've lost so much money, so much headache I've gone through investing, trading, 10 times a week or 10 times a day. At the end, you only make this much of money, right? So if you're really trading, you really have to follow. For me, so one of the things I actually learned from my earlier mentor is, Benny, you don't try to predict the market. The people who predict markets are analysts, not traders, right? Traders, we don't try to predict. We just follow the market. So I was thinking, what do you mean by follow? Yeah, I follow, right? But basically, it's the discipline to follow your plan, because you do not know when your opportunity is going to come, right? That's why you need to you need to have that discipline to actually keep on following. And once it comes, then that's worth it.
Yeah, really do agree with Benny. We always say in Agri Tracker, we do not time the market as well. So really do not time it, but we have a strategy to do the right thing when the opportunity comes.
Yeah, because like timing the market is when you try to time the market, is your opinion, right? And I can be wrong, right? But following the price, following the market is basically like, the market is the one that is going to lead the prices, so you better follow them. Do you want to listen to your own opinion, your own advice, or do you want to follow the market, right? So sometimes, for example, my opinion is, this stock is going to go up like crazy, but that's my opinion. But if the prices start to come down, I'm not going to hold my opinion anymore, man, because it's going the other way around, so I better get out, So opinions and predictions is different than from following the market.
I see. Also, people are commenting, hey, salang, hook gawi. So actually, Ing MK is asking, Benny, what's your biggest single position you've taken? How many percent of the portfolio?
Stocks, right now, I don't take more than 10%. Right. What I normally do is, like, for example, even if you follow the portfolio, right? For those who are following the Genius one, you'll see that if there's 100,000 ringgit capital in there, I will just use 10% of it to buy shares. That means I divide it into 10 sections, so that at least I can have a portfolio of 10 stocks at any one point of time. But the maximum is 10, right? Anyways, there is also a way to actually do a position sizing, and this is what is being taught in the class as well. Like I said, in the class, you're not just going to learn about technical analysis. You're going to learn about trading, right? The whole trading strategy, including how much should you be putting your trades as well, right? So yes, I don't take big risks anymore. All right. Because if I were to silang, even in equity tracker, if we were to really silang, we will have just silang on glove counters, right? Okay. And just buy glove counters. But you see it in our portfolio, if you've been following, you see that there's a diversification of stocks in there, not just glove counters, right? The reason being that is because you don't want to put your all risk in one basket, right? Like, for example, those glove companies today come down 10%, your whole portfolio come down 10%. Right, but our portfolio don't come down 10%. So it's very important. Right? For me, the biggest single position that I take is always during my earlier times. Like I said, right, I'll just silang lah earlier because my capital was small, right? I'm willing to lose that 10,000 ringgit when I put in the money. That's the only money that I have. I'm willing to lose everything, right? So yes, but my maximum losses was 50% of that whole capital that I have lah. Okay, and that was like I think 20 contracts. 20 contracts was the biggest win. About 10 contracts I was holding in a futures contract, and 10 contracts is like, let me just give you a picture. 10 contracts trading the futures market is basically like the value is about 8 multiplied by 10 is about 1 million ringgit lah. Right, 1 million ringgit worth of palm oil futures contracts, but you know what? I only have 100,000 ringgit. Okay, so that means I'm leveraging 10 times. You know, imagine, so that's how big futures market can be, right? So yeah, that's the biggest. So it's not like 100% of my capital is like 10 times more than the capital I have. That's the biggest single position I've ever taken.
Also, Ian is asking, how do you bring yourself to cut loss when time comes?
When the time comes, that's why we need to really have that discipline. Okay, I know it's not easy to cut losses, and you've seen even in the portfolio for those Genius subscribers, you've seen I've also cut losses. There are some losses in there as well, right? But you have to treat that cutting losses is part of the game for traders, lah, right? Because I know investing that if you follow Warren Buffett is rule number 1, don't lose money. Rule number 2, follow rule number 1, right? Because over the long term, yes, the price will recover itself, right? So you will not be able to lose money in the long term if we are looking at very good fundamental stocks, right? But because trading is very short term in nature, we cannot follow the investing principles. It's totally different, right? So cutting losses is just part of the game. And I know it's very difficult to cut losses because I always give this example of in the class normally. You know, when you cut loss, it's just like taking money from your wallet and just burn in front of you, right? It's very painful, right? It is very painful because nobody wants to lose money. Okay, so yes, they say you have to follow the discipline, you have to follow it. Yeah, wait until you really have to cut loss is not easy. Okay, but what I found out as well is cutting losses is part of the game is because when we cut losses, we get back our capital, right? And if that stock is really not moving, is not going where to the price where you expect it to be, I cut it so that I will have the money back again for me to find another opportunity, right? Because trading is very fast, right? If all the money is stuck there and you don't cut, and suddenly there's one good counter that come in front of you, and no more money to trade already, right? So what do you do? So cutting losses is part of trading game. I call it opportunity cost, lah. Like in economics, we learn opportunity cost, right? So for me, I treat cut loss as an opportunity cost to just pacify myself, lah, right? Because I can use back the money to actually find other opportunities.
Okay. We'll come to almost 9 p.m. One more questions. Maybe we can answer. And before we close the session, actually, we have some requests. Is Benny, since you come to ET Copy Time Mandarin session, please speak more Mandarin before you close.
Please speak. I can speak Cantonese better. Mandarin 我不会唱。一点。
Many you can sing Mandarin song as well. No problem. Not a problem. If you cannot talk,
maybe
sing,
you have to teach me.
Okay.
Yeah, I probably speak Thai better than my Mandarin.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because the time I was working in the company that sold me the software, we actually had a branch. We actually had an office in Thailand, so I used to go to Thailand quite often. And actually, to really speak to Thai, you really have to learn the language, lah. So I think for me, if I want to learn Chinese, someone has to send me to China.
There's one comment from Harry also. It's a comment about his do few winning trade by shorting up my uptrending stock when overbought and buy back the shares when it retraces a few cents down. Do you do this, Benny?
Yeah, that's one. That's awesome. So I think that's not a question, right? I think that one is a statement that he actually short the market when the price overbought. So Harry, I think Harry Quay have attended quite a lot of my workshops earlier as well. I think I know him for a very long time already. So he basically know my trading style as well. So if he's able to do that, congratulations, Harry. I think you have done very well, and hopefully that you continue to just continue to play and win the game lah.
Okay, I will repeat this announcement again. So this coming Saturday and Sunday, 24th and 25th, will be our Benny 师傅TCP class. So 这个星期六和星期日2天的课程呢，我们会有一个线上由 Benny 老师教导大家如何利用这个技术来投资。So 大家有兴趣的话，可以在 comment 下面留言 TCP， 或者是点进我们荧幕上的这个衔接https://tcp.agristracker.com。 OK， okay. So maybe Benny, if you can speak some Thai.
Cantonese also don't mind. I see a lot of requests.
So do you know how to speak Thai in support and resistance in technical?
Oh, no way lah. Even in Mandarin also, there's no way. I probably speak Malay better. But no.
Okay. So,
tampok.
Yeah, 一点点 very good. Okay, one more question for William asking in terms of uncertainties like this. How do you see those long-term investment and which whole stock because of good dividend and value investor point of view? Should we reduce this kind of strategy and turn into short-term trading like yourself? So what's your advice?
Yeah, I think we have to not confuse ourselves with trading and investment, right? Investing is in the long run, and if you buy a stock, for investing, you're basically buying a very good company, right? And company, if you look over the long term, good companies will continue to grow over the long term one. Okay, but the only problem is because you always have this short term volatility, right? And this short term volatility will bring us to the roller coaster ride. But eventually, good companies will continue to grow one. So if we believe that these companies will continue to grow and the fundamentals are strong, the business is good, then I think we should not worry about the short term volatility. Right? In fact, if the price comes down, you shouldn't be worried because you know it's going to come back again. In fact, if the price comes down, as value investors, you maybe want to add more positions. And value investing, I think, has been a play of words. Like people always use investing, value investing, Warren Buffett, and so on and so forth, right? But really, I mean, that's why when I discovered Equity Tracker, it's all about practically applying value investing. Right? Because you always read about value investing here and there. Yeah, buy whole long term. But how to do it, right? So if you look at the whole value investing, I think you and Sifu Ricky also teach about value investing, right? And it's the same principle that we all use. There are things like position sizing, right? There are things like how you build your portfolio. There are things like how you build your laddering, when to get in and when to get out, when to scale in and get out. So all of this has to be applied. Right. So if you do not know all this, building a portfolio, and if you do not know how to do your laddering when the price go up or go down, that means you are not a true value investor yet. Right. You see like Swee Kiang steady only. He don't care, right? Because he's there for the long run. His money is going to come in the long run anyways, right? And I also have investment portfolio. For me, I put a stock there, I'll just leave it there, right? But in the meantime, I will have a separate portfolio for trading. Okay, so that one you just trade and you don't mix up with the investing one. Yeah, but investing generally have to be long term. But of course, if you are able to have some technical analysis knowledge, you can always adjust your portfolio a bit more active, right? Instead of buying and holding long term. Okay, but make sure normally, is that in investing, if you sell a share, make sure you actually found another opportunity. You find a replacement to put into your portfolio, right? Because for me, investing is we should not. The money should always be invested. For me, the lowest position that I have, even in stock investing, was maximum. Also, I have to have 50% at least invested, right? I'm not fully invested all the time. but most of the time I do. But it's only when the market is uncertain and bad, then it goes down all the way to 50%. But I will still hold at 50%. But the thing is that when the market comes back, make sure you add back that 50%, right? And all of this is a strategy, right? So I think if you have not answered the question, that means you have not completed your journey to become a value investor yet.
Then welcome to attend our course or come back to refresh or resit in any of our equity trackers course. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the beauty about equity tracker course. You pay one time and then you can come anytime back again. But of course, you have to pay your makan fee and all that lah.
Yep. And a comment from Bonto, from now on, hold ETTA only speak Chinese to Benny, better than send him to China. OK， 没问题。
可以。
师傅。
So tomorrow I will teach tomorrow onwards lah. Okay, today still can speak some English with you.
Okay. Hopefully.
Okay. So 我们时间也差不多了。应该是大家我没有看到有什么问题了。还有一个问题。OK， 袁东。Many your investing portfolio use value investing teach by ET.
Now that's the beauty about working with a team, because you know what, I'm a little bit lazy to learn, although I've gone through all the classes, right? But I mean, Alvin is so close, so whatever you do, I'll just follow lah. Right? I know that's not a good thing to do. But because I believe in that system, I believe in the strategy that I know Agri Tracker is doing. Because if not, Swee Kiang, Ricky and the others also will not be able to achieve what they achieved today, right? So I believe that, it's not that I believe in Alvin fully or Swee Kiang fully, but 4 or 5 people who are succeeding cannot be wrong, isn't it? Okay. So to get ideas for me, yes, Alvin and I we continuously discuss, and when he wants to get, when he asks me about timing, I will also give him some opinions and so on and so forth, and hopefully we're able to help each other and make better investments lah. Yeah, but I do hold equity strike. Whatever that's being taught in equity tracker will be the true value investing knowledge and skill lah.
That's true. That's why we also very happy and glad to have Benny Sifu as our technical master in our team. Then we can share it together. We can learn together. Yeah, blend it together.
And that's why I cannot speak to you Mandarin. You know why not? Because buy and sell in Chinese in Mandarin sounds almost the same, and I always have a problem in the tonation, the tone, right? Like my and my. So if I tell you the wrong thing, then susah.
That's very dangerous.
Correct or not? It sounds the same, isn't it? How does it sound? Buy?
I would request you to speak or once for buy and sell first in Mandarin, then we can judge.
Yeah.
Buy is my, sell is my, so it's one tone down and tone up.
For me, it sounds the same. I can't differentiate. No, that's my problem lah, right? Because I'm not taught to speak and even listen in Mandarin. It's really tough lah. So even my Cantonese, right, is always, the Cantonese people, the true Cantonese people always say that my Cantonese is always chow yam, right? It runs because I pronounce wrongly every time. So sometimes also you better just keep quiet lah.
So never mind. Based on buy or sell, you can speak English. Other than buy or sell, all Mandarin. Okay.
I must show some sign language also, so that the message get across. It's not very difficult.
Okay. So we're also glad to have Benny tonight. Together we are stronger.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for the invitation. Although I don't speak Mandarin, but you still want to invite me. Thank you so much. And hopefully that you'll be able to learn from my experience in trading. You get a few points to take home tonight.
Definitely. So 我们感谢 Benny 老师以及水干老师在线上陪我们这精彩的1个小时哦。水干老师有什么要补充的吗？
我们衷心的希望说，在座的假设大家有兴趣的话，可以广招大家的朋友呢，一起来出席 Benny 师傅的这个 DCP 课程。那我本身呢也会在这课程里面呢跟Benny 师傅一起学习，所以就让我们在这个拜六跟礼拜呢网上见，我们 Let's meet online on this Saturday, this weekend and learn together from Benny 师傅。
All right, great，谢谢。
See you. OK，
拜拜。
谢谢各位大家晚安。
Good night， 拜拜。
OK，
拜。
大家晚安。
哦。
晚安。